Tottenham borrows $175 million from the British government and moving to a new club. Are you hopeful that will work out? And we're going to have a conversation about the Titanic parable and all the details we have to pay attention to our past history. And are we blinded by our hate? And should we show more love? All of this we're going to discuss on episode 519. So first up, we have Tottenham. So Tottenham borrows £175 million from the British government. So the Hotspurs have borrowed $175 million from the British government to help cope with the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Both Spurs and the Bank of England confirmed as Thursday that an agreement had been reached as part of the government's COVID corporate financing facility, CCFF. Another acronym destroying the world in soccer. Why did the government insert themselves to help one club? It's crony capitalism in the UK. Shocker. That shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed. Borrow from banks. Sell your ownership. You should have prepared for these horrible days of the coronavirus. Of course, you had no idea, but always prepare for a rainy day. Of course, this is a downpour of craziness, but prepare anyways. Yeah, you're going to take a hit, and I don't think that's fair. How can a government support one club? So I guess Hotspurs are going to be the team to beat in the Premier League. They're funded by the government. It's ridiculous. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of promotion relegation because that's not fair. And maybe I don't understand the details. Maybe I'm not receiving the right information as we do from the media, but that's just what I found. That's interesting. I'm sure there'll be more coming up on that down the road. Youth soccer, my favorite topic. That's kind of what I do. So I was talking to some parents yesterday, and they're talking about how one of their son's team is moving to another club. Why is the question I brought to them. Oh yeah, they're hopeful that it'll be better. So this team is pretty good. They're probably number one, top two in the state. And when that happens, wherever you're at, especially in Arizona, when you have a top team, all the clubs call. They're like, hey, come join us. Be part of us. Make us look better. Make us look like we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Come be with us. We'll give you coaching education. We'll teach you the secrets of coaching. We'll give you the promises of acceptance into these unbelievable showcases and tournaments. We'll provide your kids a pathway to excellence. This team was built, the one I'm referring to, was built by just a parent. And now they're bowing down. You did the work. You made it happen, and you're going to bow down thinking you can't advance this team to the next level because you don't have the intelligence to do so. Let me tell you something, goofballs. That's what has to be said. What do and this is an Hispanic team. This is what frustrates the heck out of me. Hispanics, if given the keys to the Ferrari and they were allowed to drive, it would go extremely fast and it would win a lot of races. But those keys aren't given. It's driven by someone else, some moron. And they take away the freedoms of what it's capable of doing. And that's a big problem. I don't know if any of that made sense. But when it comes to Hispanic teams in Arizona, if they just stuck with their culture and let the kids play, a little bit of guidance, a little bit, they would be fine. You don't need to go to some club that promises, hey, we have A-licensed coaches. We have a guy, he speaks 3 languages, and he has every accent. He can sound like he's Brazilian. He can sound like he's from the UK. He has everything. They'll sell you on that. And you know what? You'll buy it. You know why? Because parents are crazy. Look at those parents on the sideline if you're watching on YouTube. Parents are crazy. They're nuts. Because they're nuts and they're emotional, they can't make informed decisions. I know this to be true because I'm very emotional, and I recognize when I get stupid. And usually it's the next day when I realize how stupid I was, because emotions are It's drug infused. And you'll do things you never thought you would do, like fight in front of children, knowing there's cameras. But we'll go to town. This is who we're talking to. So soccer clubs know any team that's organized by a parent that becomes successful, that they can be bought and moved on. They'll offer coaches money, all this stuff. They'll do all this stuff to say, look how good we are. Look at the ranking we are. We are special. I can't stand that with clubs. Can't. Just develop your own freaking people. If you're that good, develop your community. Don't go trying to take everything that's successful. It's freaking pathetic. We do it better. No, you don't. There's so much confusion of what you can. You know how easy it is to coach soccer in the Hispanic community. Like if you're able to get Hispanic players, to try out, and you pick the best ones, you wouldn't have to do anything. All you have to tell the kids, the team you're organizing, be Mexican, and just get the heck out of the way. Play like your culture. Play like the Mexican national team. Play the ball to your team, connect passes, and score goals. That's it. They watch it enough. They know what they're doing. It's like, imagine us trying to go into the mean streets of LA and finding all the skateboarders and say, you know what, I'm going to show you how to do it. You couldn't. They already know what they're doing. They don't have coaches. They're creative. They can do anything. They know what they're doing. All these kids need is guidance. And I'm not saying, the ones that need coaching, that need a good accent coach, systems, are the players that have no technique, which is typically white America, because they have other interests. They like too many other things. It's not part of their culture. They're not watching soccer on the weekend. They're not going to adult. They don't spend their whole day about soccer. The Hispanic community here in Arizona is different. They watch soccer nonstop. I've seen parents drag their kid, not drag, just be at like 3 different locations in one day. I happen to be doing the same thing. They're everywhere, and it's all soccer related. It's crazy. It's just, that's their culture. That's what they do. That's what they love. So here's my opinion on teams moving and being bought and all that stuff. It's stupid. It's a scam. Don't do it. Just be good. And more importantly, let the kids play. Let them play. You just need to manage it. Don't try to coach it or find some super coach that can talk a certain way. Anyone can sell. Remember, this world is about people selling things. We're being sold things all the time. Don't buy in. All right, let's talk about the Titanic. I want to talk about the parable of the Titanic. It's not a parable; it's a true story. But we're gonna talk about it. I want to talk about the numbers. So let's kind of engage ourselves in this and kind of see how this relates. 6, the number of ice warnings the Titanic received before the collision. How does it relate today? How many warnings are we receiving right now in this world before it's too late? 22.5, the ship's speed in knots while traveling amid iceberg-laden waters, just 0.5 knots below the top speed of 23 knots. How fast are we going? Are we paying attention? Are we going too fast? Next number, 30. It took 30 seconds, the length of time between the first sighting of the iceberg to the crash. As the berg came into view, lookout Frederick Fleet called the bridge to announce, "Iceberg right ahead." Have we not been told what's going on? Are we listening? Do we wait too long to sound the alarms of what's going on? 4, the number of forward compartments that could flood without the risk of the Titanic sinking. 6, the number of forward compartments that were ruptured in the collision. Have we taken on too much in the USA? Have we taken too much on? Is it too late? And it might be. And this is what we're not paying attention is the time frame. We're having an economic collapse right now. And the thing is, I don't think, and no one's recognizing it yet, but it's coming. Last number for you, 160 minutes. The time it took for the Titanic to sink after the iceberg, 2 hours and 40 minutes in total. 1 hour and 20 minutes after Titanic went down, the Cunard liner Carpathia arrived. The survivors in the lifeboats were brought aboard, and a handful of others were pulled out of the water. It was later discovered that the Leyland liner Californian had been less than 20 miles away at the time of the accident, but had failed to hear the Titanic's distress signal because its radio operator was off duty. Are we not receiving the help that we need? It's not too far away. Our help. We are going through craziness right now with our divide in this country. And the media is fanning the flames, and we are fanning the flames on social media, and it's getting ridiculous. And the answer to solve all these things may not be too far away, and I'm going to cover that shortly. But I want to read you this. On September 1st, 1985, a joint U.S.-French expedition located the wreck of the Titanic lying in the ocean floor at the depth of about 13,000 feet. The ship was explored by manned and unmanned subs, which shed new light on the new details of the sinking. So we constantly are paying attention to the past and researching it. And after bad things happen, kind of what we're going through, this is all new to us, except the rioting and the protesting. That's not new to us, but it's the duration of it is we kind of like deal with situations and then try to avoid them happening again. That's just how we work. We don't prepare for like what could happen. We don't pay attention to our history. So the announcement of details of the tragedy led to an outrage on both sides of the Atlantic. In the disaster's aftermath, the first international convention for safety of life at sea was held in 1913. Rules were adopted requiring that every ship have a lifeboat space for each person on board, and lifeboat drills be held. An international ice patrol was established to monitor icebergs to the North Atlantic shipping lanes. It was also required that ships maintain a 24-hour radio watch. So after the fact, we are now have new protocols. What are our protocols now? We don't have any. All we have is hate right now. And the ones that actually have a solution can't be heard right now for whatever reason. So here is my solution. This is what I think we should pay attention to. May we show love now before it's too late. We are so blinded by hate right now, it's ridiculous. So tell someone you love them or show it. I think showing it is the key. That's what we need to get to. If you truly love someone, it's better to show them than to tell them on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you do. I care. I posted. Black Lives Matter. Okay, show me. And that's what I'm going to work on doing. I'm going to show my love for this world, regardless of color, just what's in front of me. That's all I can do. My community, what I deal with, people I engage with, that's all I can do. But a lot of you being trapped, you got to stay inside. hate is being built up because we're trapped inside and we're not allowed to engage. That is silly. That's a true pandemic, is our inability to engage one another. If we are stuck inside and we can't engage, hate will be built up. Doesn't that not happen? When you are thinking about something, or you're texting, or you're reading on Facebook, and you get a different perspective of people, it's different. But if you engage them, you see their facial expressions, you can feel their energy and all those things, and then have a conversation. It's different. It's so different. And we need to change what we're doing. People listening to my podcast, I have a crazy opinion on a lot of things, but don't judge me for that. Judge me for what I show you, what I do in action, what I do in person, and hopefully we're allowed to do that. We're not trapped inside forever. Being trapped inside forever, not engaging one another, may be our biggest downfall. Let's get out of it. See you guys tomorrow.